Well, hello, everybody. How are you doing tonight? It's Sunday night. That means it's time for Futbol Miami TV. And I noticed, and I was chatting with some of you guys that were in the chat earlier, and welcome. Thank you for everybody that was in the chat early. It should be a fun show tonight. However, I need your help tonight. This is another solo show. I'm flying solo tonight. Uncle Ed got busy with some family stuff, and, that takes precedence. And so it's just you and me. And so we're doing this together. So, of course, because it's just you and me, I need those chats more than ever. I need those phone calls more than ever. And so let's just advertise that right up front. If you want to leave a voicemail, it's right there, 786-474-4435. I hope everybody's had a great weekend. It's a busy weekend. I'm not sure if you guys are like me, but I find myself staying super busy in the morning and then and this is what I was saying to my wife. I was like, I want to get busy in the morning, work my butt off the first few hours of the morning from say 9 to noon. And after that, I just want to chill. Just want to relax, maybe watch a little soccer. In this case, just chill out in the garage, kind of envisioning what might want to do with the garage, all kinds of good stuff. But how are you guys doing? Now I asked in the chat, because One World One Goal in the chat was saying that she was in a drive-thru getting some dinner. So I asked what was for dinner. So it sounds like pizza is a popular dinner choice. One World One Goal, who's in the chat, while she's in drive-thru, had pizza and NASCAR. Judge Dredd apparently also has pizza, and he likes my jersey. Huh? My wife, it's funny that you say you like this jersey, because just before starting the show, I'm walking around the house. I got this shirt on. My wife is just shaking her head. She hates this jersey. She thinks it's awful. It's ridiculous in her opinion. She doesn't like it. I don't get it. I dig it. I think this is probably the best kit in all of USL. I think the color scheme is really good. The logo, for Miami FC, not the best, but the color scheme, I think. Now, imagine if Inter Miami had used this kind of color scheme, except substitute maybe the orange for pink. Now you're talking. Forget about the black. Go blue and pink. Now you're talking. But obviously they had to stay away from that since Miami FC had already kind of claimed this kind of blue. But to me, this screams, some Miami colors. So I think Miami did a great job. With their branding. And so, all right, so let's start off by saying hi to some of you folks that were in the chat. And first off was Jose Velasquez. He was in here super early. Footballer, always keeping time. He was in here early as well. Kevin Gonzalez wondering where the full season MLS schedule is. Not out yet. They're still working on the details. I was in the chat early. If you ever see Futbol Miami TV, it's me. It's usually me, because Ed'll log in as himself. Jazz Fusion was also in the chat talking about cancellation. Yeah, look, we had to come up with a title. For the show. So, and maybe the word cancel in today's culture, maybe it'll get some people to click on the video. Just saying, you got to come up with a title and an image that maybe gets a few people interested, right? You guys that are here every single week, it doesn't matter what I put in the title. It doesn't matter what I put in the as a thumbnail. I know you will be here ready to talk. Anu Weissman from Atlanta is in here. His job, Anu says, my job denied my time off request for the Orlando match, but gives me more time to plan for Inter Miami. You've got to have your priorities right, Anu. And let's just say, coming first for you from Atlanta, Miami is a much better visit. Much better. Because you're probably not like me. You're probably not interested in going into the theme parks. So if you're not interested in going to the theme parks in Orlando, come on down. All the crazy people are currently here in Miami. And I know you guys have seen this. What's going on in South Beach? What's going on with that? They had to put up a a curfew because of the craziness. I saw all over Facebook some guy dressed up like the Joker saying that coronavirus is over. It ain't over, folks. It's not over. All right, who else was in here? Chris Arjun was in here. I saw Chris doing some good photography with Miami United. Good job there, Chris. And Jet Pancake is in here. Hi, guys. Alex Z is in the group. Welcome, Alex. Cameron Shaw. What's the latest of Fort Lauderdale CF? When does their season commence? Good question. We don't have any information on Fort Lauderdale right now. But it should be information for all these things should be coming out soon. And one goal said she thought the show was canceled or the stadium. Hey, look, the show was almost canceled because Ed got busy doing other stuff. We also got Richard Greenberg watching from Toronto. Welcome from Toronto. How you doing? Where's Toronto playing their MLS season? I know they're not playing in Toronto. Where did they end up relocating? We've got Montreal down here in Fort Lauderdale. Where's Toronto playing their games? Probably up in New York. And Endo is in here as well. I got off every home game for this season. Well, let's hope we can all go to every home game. And Richard Greenberg says that Toronto's playing in Tampa. Good to know. Good to know. So that's a question I was curious. As I was looking at, we know Montreal is sharing the Inter Miami CF Stadium, and I was looking at. I'm curious. Can we buy tickets to the Montreal game if we just want to go and see soccer? It's not like I'm cheering for Montreal or anything, but if I just want to see some more MLS, because Montreal is playing a game. They're playing on the day before. They are playing at Inter Miami CF Stadium against Toronto, and that will be at Inter Miami Stadium on the Saturday. And then the very next day, on that Sunday, we will be playing against LA Galaxy in that same stadium. So, Richard Greenberg, you're going to be coming down to South Florida to see your team play, in our hometown here in Fort Lauderdale. It might be a good game right there. I would be interested to go check out some of the Montreal games, just because I want to see more soccer. Baldwin 4 is in, and he says I thought Montreal games would be open for regular games, but who knows with these spring breakers pissing everybody off. I know. And I barely watch the news, but it's popped up in my Facebook feed a lot, just the nonsense. And it's these I'm assuming the majority of them are people from outside of Florida that are coming down here acting like fools. I'm hoping it's not our locals making us look bad. I'm assuming it's people from up there in godforsaken New Jersey, because who would live up in New Jersey? So maybe coming down here because it's too darn cold and wreaking all kinds of havoc down in Miami. I haven't heard too many issues in Fort Lauderdale, but everybody seems to be going down to Miami, and so they've had to institute that whole curfew thing. All right, before we go too much further, welcome to everybody in, and it's almost 10 minutes in, and we haven't said thank you to Caneswear. Everybody, have you gone to Caneswear? Have you actually walked into the store to Caneswear? Because if not, you need to. You need to go to Caneswear. They've got a great setup with all the Inter Miami gear. Anything you want, they've got. And if they don't have it on the shelves, they probably got it in the back, and they just haven't put it out yet. They're constantly getting new stuff in. They told me they got some new hats that are coming in soon. So we'll be looking forward to those very soon. And you want to get your La Palma, this is where you go to get it. So go there, get that. You can get that cool looking pink rain jacket like I got from Caneswear. And if for whatever reason you're up there in New Jersey or you're up there in Toronto, because I know Richard Greenberg, you really want to trade in that red Toronto shirt for a fresh pink, hot pink, nice, fresh Inter Miami shirt. Well, you could go to caneswear.com if you're from outside the area and go to and get yourself anything you want, Inter Miami. If you want anything Miami Hurricanes, you want anything the Miami Dolphins or the what are the other teams? The Panthers, Florida Panthers, anything you want, they've got it. And if you use promo code FMTV10, you will save 10%. And so you're getting all this stuff at a really good price. And what we've noticed is that, you know, these shirts at the Inter Miami Stadium are marked up, right? The gear is all marked up at Inter Miami Stadium. So you want to go to Caneswear and get it there. So thanks a lot to Caneswear. If you want to show your support for us, you want to show that you care about us here on this channel, what we're bringing for you, go support our local sponsors. And these days, local business needs your support more than ever. All right, get off my soapbox. Bruno Vieira is in saying, how do I, oops, wrong. I clicked on the wrong one. Pink training jacket is too fresh. Definitely get one. I saw somebody else asking something about Richard Greenberg asking if they ship to Canada. Good question. Not sure. But we could find that out for you. Anyone got the pink training jacket yet? Baldwin, they have it at Caneswear. So just so you know. All right, and yep. Well, footballer. I mean, you don't like the Dolphins, but I'm just saying, Caneswear is all the local teams. All the local teams. If you want it, they got it, right? You like, but if you're a Florida State fan, you might be out of luck because they are a Hurricanes venue. One world, one goal. And look, there's going to be a few more pauses in this show because it's by myself, and so I'm looking at your chats a lot. One world, one goal is asking Chris, do you like all the gear that changed to the brighter pink? Shows up more on TV and video. And I'll tell you, if you look back at the video that I did at the stadium for the season ticket holder event that they had for when the La Palma unveiling, you could really see a big difference between the new pink and the old pink. The new pink, according to Adidas, is called True Pink, and it definitely is brighter. It's definitely not a hot pink, but it's definitely brighter. And if you see that jacket, I mean, I could go get it, but there's no one to hold down the fort, so I won't do that. But it's definitely brighter than last year. I held the training shirt from last year up against the training shirt from this year, and there's definitely a very big difference in the pink. So it's a much better pink. But as always, you know, all of us fans, if we're gonna have pink as our color, we want that to be our not just our training jersey, but our main jersey, right? So, but they say that'll happen sometime in the near future. Cameron Shaw, coming from Scotland, is asking, will fans be allowed in for the first home game? Here in Scotland, we're about to go to a full season without any fans at all, not even a reduced capacity. Cameron, I will say I'm 99.9% sure we will definitely have some fans at a limited capacity at the first home game on April 18th. We did it last year at the end, near the end of the season, when the COVID numbers were much higher. Now that more and more people are getting the vaccine, and a lot of society seems to think we're already done with this. So I would say we will definitely see the games open to the public to some extent. And that goes back to a conversation we had last week, where what do they do with us season ticket holders? How do they appease us season ticket holders? I think Futboler in here talking about possibly asking for a refund. They're gonna, let's say, they're going to have to open it to a smaller capacity, so they're going to more than likely do what they did last year, and they're going to allow season ticket holders to purchase a ticket. But I've already purchased tickets, right? So they owe me then. So then they probably roll that over into next season, or something like that. Or if they make it to the playoffs, then they maybe give it to you then, because later in the playoffs they're hoping to be playing in full stadiums, right? So they're hoping by late summer that they're playing in full stadiums. So, but yeah, I would have fully expect us to be a limited capacity in that first game. Jeff Reed says he loves Caneswear. I live in New York, and I got my kit really quick. Yeah, they're good about shipping their stuff out quick, so that's good. All right. Hey, so the title of the show. Without Ed, this could have been a longer conversation with me and Ed, but basically, Inter Miami was scheduled to play Miami FC on the 20th, which was yesterday, Saturday. And it got postponed. So I put in there canceled just because, canceled's, it's a catchy word these days. But they're saying it's gotten postponed. And so the game actually happened because of the relationship between the two coaches. They're both English. They're both, they knew each other. So that's why the game was going to happen in the first place, which is pretty cool. And it got canceled. From what we're hearing, our sources are telling us that it got postponed because one of the Miami FC players got COVID. We don't know who, but our sources are telling us that it was, and in all honesty, this was a source through Ed. So I wish he was here to go into more detail, but that one of the players from Miami FC came down with COVID. So just when we all think that the pandemic is over and people are tired of wearing masks and they're getting way too relaxed, it ain't over, right? So you still got to live in these kind of bubble type atmospheres for these teams, and so that right there means Inter Miami is gonna they just did an inter-scrimmage. So they played against each other, and they've got some preseason games coming up. So they're traveling up to Tampa for this coming weekend, where they'll play the Tampa Bay Rowdies at Al Lang Stadium, and then just down the street from Al Lang Stadium in Bradenton, Florida, at the IMG Academy, they'll be playing Charleston Battery from the USL, and then Red Bulls, they'll be playing them April 3rd, also in the academy. So they'll be spending some time up there in Bradenton or Tampa Bay. And then still on the same day, they'll be playing Nashville at the IMG. So 2 games on, so where they'll obviously do maybe a split squad here for that. And then we're still hoping that the weekend of April 10th, we can actually go and see a game in person. That is, the rumor that they may open that up. So that's where we're at with the preseason. What do you guys think? All right, so I'm reading some of your chats. Footballer is saying here, going back to my conversation about the season ticket holders, Inter Miami needs to thread carefully on how they go allowing season tickets into the stadium, or else there will be plenty of pissed off season ticket holders. Yes. And, there's some talk on Twitter about how they might do it. I think at the end of the day, there's been no news, because I think what's going to happen is it's not Inter Miami. I think the league is going to try to roll this out in some way where all the teams are playing in a similar fashion. Right, I know I didn't word that well, but I think the direction that Inter Miami goes is probably the direction that the league tells them to go in. So I think they're going to try to formulate a plan as a ownership, one mind type, one hive mind, and try to get majority of the teams to kind of follow along the same sort of protocols. So that's what I think. But I agree. They definitely need to tread lightly. It's because there was definitely a certain amount of excitement for the first season. Something happened, pandemic happens, the world shuts down, some of that excitement's gone away. If they don't handle the situation with the season ticket holders correctly, like Footballer said, you piss them off and they don't come back. And we've got a great season ticket holder base with this team, and they don't want to lose that for sure. But I agree. They do need to tread lightly with that. Richard Greenberg is asking if Inter Miami will have a shirt sponsor soon. Well, we've heard that they're definitely working on something and that there will be a shirt sponsor this year. They did not say the word soon. They said there will be a shirt sponsor this year. I think Jorge Mas is the one that was saying that a few weeks ago, that they're talking to a few sponsors. And the one thing that we've learned with this team is they're not looking for a national brand, because they could have already signed a company like what Austin did with Yeti. Yeti's a huge brand, a huge local Austin brand. And a lot of people like, some of our Judge Dredd wants it to be a coffee sponsor or a Publix, a Cafe Bustelo type of thing, which sounds great. Sounds very Miami, right? But it's not necessarily global. This team is looking global. And so that they're going to be looking for those big name sponsors that along the lines of who they were talking to before with like Qatar Airways, right? Along those lines. It may not be Qatar Airways, and which would be a good thing, because that's just marketing dilemma right there, marketing nightmare. But they look towards that type of sponsorship. But they say we should see something this year. So yeah, I would say they will. All right, what else are we talking about tonight in the chat? Anybody want to leave a voicemail? Oh, we got one. All right, let's go to our voicemail here, and let me just put up the banner for the phone number in case you guys haven't, if you don't remember it. All right, let's pause that and let's try to plug in this thing in again. Sometimes it's a little finicky.
Down. Hey, downtown. Peter Brown. Well, I got to say, fam. Damn. Damn. Well, I wasn't going to call, but since you're sitting there lonely, I figured I'd give you a call.
Help me out.
Downtown.
Help me out.
I do have a few things on my mind. I just wanted to apologize because I came at Inter Miami, I guess maybe the wrong way the other week. And I said that they were keeping fans from going to the preseason matches and stuff. Still don't know why. Well, they said something about COVID with the FC Miami player catching COVID or something like that. But at least play an inter-scrimmage squad match and post that on their streaming service or something like that. Give us something, But anyway, apparently it's league-wide that they're not letting fans go to the scrimmages, to the playoff matches, and I thought it was just an Inter Miami thing, but it's not. And I just want to be a man and apologize to Inter Miami, to Beckham and Moss and everybody else, and recant what I said. And
take it back.
But I am very, very hopeful of seeing an actual game sometime in the near future, and I hope they consider letting fans come in for the final preseason game of the playoff season, preseason. But lastly, I just had a few things, man. Hey, where's the business officer that we're supposed to get? That guy from Barcelona. How come we haven't seen this guy yet? When are they going to announce this guy? That's one. And then two, again, what's going on with the visa situation with Shawcross and with Gregory, I hope to see these guys soon, man. It's been a minute. I'm hearing maybe about a month before they come in over here, but, whatever. And by the way, last but not least, great win by the United States men's team. We played this past week and won 1-0 over Costa Rica. So, that was a great win. So, anyway, good luck, Peter Brown. I know you're going to hold it down, man. Have a good night, and peace out from America's favorite uncle. Take care.
All right. Thanks so much to America's favorite uncle, Uncle Ned. Always appreciate some good conversation with Uncle Ned. So, yeah, he was talking a little bit about the fact that we can't see any preseason games. Now, that's a hot button topic across the league that a lot of teams are doing the same thing, or they're geolocking the game. So you can only see them if you're in a specific market, right? So people are talking about how to get around that by, figuring ways in your computer using VPNs or what have you so they could see games, right? Because maybe they're a fan outside the area. So there's some teams that are broadcasting the games, but then they're geo-locking them. So my thoughts, and this is just my opinion, but I think this is, once you start seeing it's not just an Inter Miami thing, but it's a MLS thing, I feel like that's somehow related to the TV rights. So we know that they're getting ready to go. The TV rights are going to expire soon, next year or so, and so they're going to expire, and they're talking about bundling up, different packages or what have you, bundling up not just the nationally broadcast games, but also bundling up all the locally broadcasted games into one big media rights package. So my thoughts, and I don't know if this is just bad guesswork on my part, but my thoughts is maybe since this is a league-wide thing, that it's somehow related, that it's all getting bundled up together, and that they're preparing for that kind of thing. That's just my thought. I don't really know anything behind that. No rumors, no nothing like that. Just kind of thinking it through. And Anu Weissman is saying this, that the website was geo-locked for streams outside for Atlanta fans. So that's just the way MLS is handling it. Many teams are doing the same exact thing. Inter Miami, instead of geo-locking, they're just not even showing them. Because at this point, I'd be okay with geo-locking because I can at least watch it, right? If I'm in the area, I could watch it. But, we can't. So at the end of the day, it's just preseason. What the fun thing was, I really did enjoy last year driving up to Tampa. I went to Tampa 2 weekends in a row. That's a 4-hour drive, driving up to Tampa 2 weekends in a row to watch Inter Miami play. And I think it was 2 weekends. Yeah, if it was just a couple of days, I would have stayed in a hotel, and I did not stay in a hotel. And that was awesome. Because you got to see the team up close. Because the way the Al Lang Stadium is, you're sitting like right on the field basically. So that's great, and got to see the team up close, and that was the first time ever getting to see the team, so it was even better. But now it feels like we're in that same situation. It feels like it's the first time again because we got a new coach, we got some new players. It feels like it's the same. It's brand new all over again. All right, so let's see if we have any other voicemails. We do have another voicemail. All right, let's go to this voicemail. Not sure who it is, but I think it might be One World, One Goal.
Hey, it's Italia, One World, One Goal. And hey, everybody, Peter, Ed, we miss you, of course. And Ricky Ricardo, haven't seen him lately either. But I'm in line at the car wash. I'm like the next car in here. Why I'm doing this on a Sunday, who knows? But anyhow, they did sign Gibbs, I think, and they did promote the assistant coach for Gibbs is the defender from England to come in June. Of course, they love throwing out the Messi is coming, and I don't know, all these other people that they say are coming. I've lost track now, over 10 years. And the other thing was the stadium, my favorite topic. I'm so mad the commissioner, lovely Rebecca Sosa, she had Cuban coffee with Beckham. Originally, when we were going to be at the Port of Miami, he went through and went to every commissioner's office and sat down and chit-chatted and all that. And, a third of those people are gone already, and that mayor is different. Anyway, Rebecca Sosa in particular brought up that the stadium might be a problem for people who live nearby, which is totally stupid because they're going to put in a huge park. And people who live nearby don't go and play golf. Well, not that many. And then they said the height is too high for the stadium for planes to land. Like, shouldn't they have looked at that like 3 years ago, 2 years ago? I'm losing track because we've been trying to get the stadium in Miami since 2008. Okay, Rosie's show, and I don't mean to be Debbie Downer, but they need to hustle on getting that stadium working because things need to open. We're doing all the tech, PR in Miami to bring technology here. Time for the Miami Tech Park next to the stadium with Mas Tech and Jorge Mas and company. Thanks, guys. Love you. Bye.
All right. Thank you. One more, one goal. Italia, thank you so much for that voicemail. Yeah, I read that article as well. The commissioners are complaining about the height of the stadium and also the traffic and all that. How much traffic is once a week, once every 2 weeks game really going to cause on a weekend? I don't think it's going to be that much. But they've already done the traffic studies. Apparently, they're asking them to do another traffic study. So they'll have to go through whatever hoops they need to go through to do that. Now, the height of the stadium, it's not just the height. They're talking about the lights of the stadium that they could potentially distract the pilots of these aircraft. That particular flight path would be for the longer of the runways. So if you're a larger plane, you need the longer runway, and so that would be that path the stadium would come into play with that path. So they might have to take into consideration, and I don't know, find a way to put the lights inside. Do they have to fully enclose the stadium? Do they need to make it an indoor stadium to make them happy? Then it's hey, is that the solution? Is that the solution? Just bubble it up. Just make an indoor stadium. I mean, at this point, let's do it. You could give it like the glass ceiling. Like, isn't that how a new Weissman, maybe you can clarify, isn't that how the Atlanta Stadium is, where it's like clear on the top to where you could see the sun coming in, but it is an enclosed stadium, the Mercedes-Benz Stadium? I think that might be the way it is. If that's the case, maybe they need to do something like that, to where all the lights are on the inside. You don't really see much as far as lights, other than maybe some of those red flashing warning lights that the pilots know. But I agree that, and I made a comment somewhere on some social media thing. Somebody was talking about paying somebody off, and my comment was, pay them off already. Let's just get it done. Pay off. One of the reasons I was excited to have Jorge Mas as an owner, not just because of his deep pockets and enthusiasm, was because he knew how to get things done in Miami. He has a construction background. He's got an infrastructure background. He knows how to get things done. So every time we have conversations and our sources have conversations with Inter Miami, and specifically we have some people that talk directly to Jorge Mas, they always tell us he's fairly calm, he's relaxed, don't worry, it's going to get done. So I know the ownership group it feels confident, and maybe this is just the commissioners posturing for their people to make their constituents feel like they've fought the good fight, and then they've gotten everything that they can get out of the team for their people. And if that's the case, then they're doing their job, right? But if all they want is a payout, let's just pay them. Let's just get it done. Let's pay them. At the same time, I like the stadium being in Fort Lauderdale. I know it's called Inter Miami and it's playing in Fort Lauderdale, and that's a whole like Miami Fusion 2.0 thing, and it's really not the best branding, but it works for me. And at the end of the day, isn't that important that it works for me? I think it's important. So a new Weissman is saying, as far as the Atlanta Stadium, only the front has a window showing the outside. It's all enclosed outside of the roof opening. So the roof opens up. So imagine having an enclosed stadium where just like I said, it's like a glass structure, so you can still get that beautiful sun from Florida, but you're fully enclosed. They enclosed the Marlins ballpark, but imagine it's enclosed, but like I said, it's glass or something to that effect, clear. I don't care if it's plastic, but just something that they can enclose it maybe, and where they can the lights don't bother everybody. All right. Baldwin is saying hang on a second. Baldwin is saying we need a new host as soon as possible. Just kidding, sort of. Are you complaining about me, Baldwin? Am I not doing a good enough job for you? I am better when I have someone to bounce ideas off of, when I'm goofing off with Ed. I will say that. So I don't know if you're referring to that, but doing the best I can, Baldwin. Sorry if I'm not meeting your needs. Anyways, for the health of the team, like I said, I do enjoy the stadium being in Fort Lauderdale, but for the health of the team, they really do need to be in Miami. They do need it for long term. You need to be in Miami for the health of the organization. It's the sexier city, the bigger name city, and all that stuff. Chris Arjun agrees with me. 10 minutes up the street for me. If it stays in Fort Lauderdale, the stadium is great and is very accessible, and more important, is already there. Exactly. Baldwin says he was just talking about the stadium. I'm talking about the stadium in Fort Lauderdale, permanently in Fort Lauderdale. Okay, he's just kidding. All right. I mean, look, you can't hurt my feelings. I mean, I'm a big boy. Kevin Gonzalez says, Peter, the flight takeoffs and landings won't be an issue at MIA. Trained pilots take off and frequently land in low visibility during bad weather. Bright stadium lights will have minimal impact. While I would agree with you, Kevin, that is what the commissioner was complaining about. Now, maybe you know more about flying than she does, because who knows? The commissioner may not have no clue about flying. But that was the thing in the article that they were concerned. One of the things they were concerned about. Again, is she just mentioning, stuff to make her constituents happy, make them feel like she's fighting the good fight? Who knows? I don't know. But we just need the stadium done. All right. I think we have another voicemail in here, and so let's go take a listen to that. Hang on a second. Well, I thought I saw another voicemail. We are looking for another voicemail. Maybe not. All right. If you want to leave a voicemail, do so. If not, let me put up this. Make sure, as always, you're using this code, FMTV10. So let's just reminder, FMTV10. So another thing I thought we could talk about tonight is the lineup, right? So this team is starting to come together. They still, one world, one goal. Italia mentioned that that they signed our Englishman for the defense, and that has not happened just yet. They're talking about his signing potentially in the summer, so no signing yet. And to hold that position down for now, they signed Jovan Jones, right? So we no word yet on that player in the back officially joining the club. So, oh, that's good. One world, one goal has finally washed her car and parked at home. Congratulations. Yeah, I washed 2 cars today. I had to wash 2 cars. I have this big oak tree in front of my house, and at this time of year, it's dropping a lot of leaves. But worse than that, it's all this like small little things that are yellowish colored, all the stuff that messes up your sinuses and stuff like that are dropping from the tree right onto my car, at least one of my cars. So I had to wash both cars. I've had to wash them 3 weeks in a row. These cars have never been so clean. Never been so clean. All right. Anyways. I wanted to mention also real quick before we go too far. Where is it? I had it. Inter Miami has some preseason games. Miami FC has some preseason games scheduled as well. And so since I'm wearing the Miami FC shirt, I figure we should acknowledge them as well. So on Saturday, March 13th, they played Naples. They missed the game against us. They're scheduled. Hopefully they can still do it. March 27th, they're scheduled to drive up to IMG and play Red Bulls as well, like we are, and then they are scheduled to on April 6th head over to Orlando and play Orlando City at their facility, at their training facility. So Miami FC getting some good games in as well in their preseason. And during the Miami FC season, we plan on talking a little bit about Miami FC. I know they're not the premier team in South Florida. Most of you guys want to talk about Inter Miami, but we're going to cover a little bit of Miami FC this year. I plan on going to some games. I'm gonna try to get a press pass and like I've had in the past and try to be able to cover some of those games. So we we'll talk a little bit about Miami FC as well. Eric Thomas calling me out. Yeah, Peter, a little thing called show prep, and you'll be on your way, my brother. I don't know what you're referring to, but my show prep was expecting Ed to be here, but he canceled at the last minute, so that threw that out the window. But and the key, the beauty of this show is there's very little show prep. We read a few things. We get up to date a little bit. I'm reading all the same stuff that you guys read. And sometimes we have some sources that are sharing some things here and there. But, there's not, we fly by the seat of our pants here on this show and try to get it done. Have fun. Because the biggest part about this whole thing is just having fun. Talking soccer and having fun with you guys. That's what it's all about. All right, so I wanted to talk to you a little bit about, where's my image? I got an image somewhere here. Of who I think the team might line up like as. Yeah, footballer, you're right. The audience is being harsh tonight. Give me a break. That's what I'm saying. You guys are hard on a brother. But I could take it. It's okay. All right. Here's the lineup. I'm looking for it. Here it is. This is what I think we could see. Let me remove the discount code. I think we could see this kind of lineup, the start of the season. And then I got to wonder, is this that much better than last year? So let's talk about it. So we're going to have McCarthy as our number one goalkeeper, obviously. Is he a downgrade from Robles? I don't know. Probably about the same. Then I think this is our back line. I think we're playing 4 in the back. We're playing Jones on the left. Shawcross or LGP. I'm not sure if I've got that in the right order. They could be flipped. But I think you're going to see Shawcross playing in the middle. Even though he's old, some people feel like he might be a depth type player. But I don't think so. I think we've got an English coach. You're bringing in a guy that was a captain at his former club in England. And I think that he's playing as long as he can get his green card and all. I'm sorry, green card. As long as he can get his visa and get over here, I think he's starting. Now, can he finish a season is a whole nother issue. Injuries, problem. Then obviously we'll have Leandro Gonzalez Perez in the middle, LGP, because I have a hard time saying his name. And I think we're going to see Futbol on the right. Now, at some point in the season, you could potentially see Futbol in the Shawcross position. But I think we're going to see Futbol on the right. Baldwin is saying he doesn't want, I don't want Futbol on right back. Shawcross is a bench. Otherwise, I agree. I just don't think so. I don't think they brought Shawcross in to sit on the bench. But, I mean, this is just a guess. Any of us could be right on this. Matuidi and Gregory, obviously in the middle. That makes that's the only way to go there. Pellegrini is a question, right? Does he start the season? Eric Thomas is saying Pellegrini may start the season, but I doubt he makes it to the MLS All-Star game if he plays anywhere like he did last year. I got my money on Breck Shea taking that position over. Yeah, you may be right, but I think they're going to want to try and get something out of Pellegrini. I think they're going to want to try and see he's their DP. I think they want to get him out on the pitch. I guess it really all depends on how he does in the preseason. But I think they still want to see something out of Pellegrini. I think they're still going to give him a shot. But you may be right, Eric, that Breck Shea's going to take that position over. So it's really up in the air. But I think they still. We've heard the coach Neville, challenging, Pellegrini a little bit in some of those audio clips and getting on him a little bit in a positive way. So, all right. So then after that, we got Pizarro. That's a no-brainer. We do know he's going to miss a couple preseason games because he's got his call up, and so he's going to be, with Mexico playing some of their games. But then it's a no-brainer, obviously, Morgan, and then Higuain up top. So, not sure. I know you guys are commenting in the chat. I have not really been looking in the chat. One World, One Goal says Valencia should start, not Pellegrini. Yeah, but Pellegrini's a DP. So I just think you spend that much money, you want him to play. So I think they start him. I think they put those eggs in that basket, and if he fails, then you see him loaned out to another club or something. I don't know. I still want to see Pellegrini's contract somehow reworked or moved into that under 23 initiative that MLS is putting into place. We still have heard no word on that, because if they do put him into that under 23 designation, then it frees up a DP spot where we either use it for another player or we are forced to use it for Matuidi because of the Matuidi scandal that's still unsettled. And I agree with Baldwin. I don't know if Valencia is that good. All right, so looks like there's some debate really on a few of these players, but really not much debate. The main debate is whether Shawcross really should be in the field. And I would just say again, like, I know I'm repeating myself a lot, that they didn't bring him in for nothing. I don't think they brought him in just to be a defensive player. I mean, a bench player. I just don't think so. I could be wrong. And look, he could be, maybe Neville knows something we don't. He could be amazing. My biggest question with him is his health. Eric Thomas is saying he's not too sold on McCarthy either. Not saying he's a goner, but he ain't gonna be here that long either if he plays subpar. There's a reason why no other MLS club wanted him after he left. Yeah, I mean, but they didn't go out and sign anybody else. So what makes you wonder, is Drake Callender, who's on the roster behind him, is he really the future star? Does Drake Callender get a chance to move up? Are they just grooming him, waiting? I mean, we really haven't seen him, but there was a lot of hype around him, and so we could see a potential Drake Callender taking that spot over. That would be interesting. And I would love that. You bring up your young player, as long as he's good enough, right? So he's got to beat out McCarthy, and so far, I guess he has not. Let me take a sip. All right, so that's what I think the season starts with. Now, of course, that can change if they get one of those two players they've talked about getting, but it seems like those players are taking a little while to get with the club. COVID and all that kind of stuff. It slows all these conversations down. So we've got players that we've signed that aren't with a club yet, and we can't. And then we've got someone like Gibbs who is and I did see, I think, One World, One Goal mentioning some sort of Bee Gees reference. That is a good way to remember his name, because I do forget his name from time to time, and that might have been what Eric was calling me out on. I just can't remember everybody's name. Look, I'm getting old, folks. I'm getting old. And names just seem to be slipping by me. Judge Dredd asking me what I'm drinking. Well, I'm drinking what Uncle Ned might call a girly drink. It's a White Claw ruby grapefruit, because I'm still trying to watch my figure here. So I want to have a little alcoholic beverage, but I do not want to get that beer belly. So I'm trying to be a little weight conscious while I get drunk. Not drunk, just having a nice little drink. 67 ain't that old, Mr. Peter Brown. Yeah, well, it's right around the corner. Birthday's right around the corner, creeping up there. The age is catching on to me. So, here's another question I got for you guys. Totally not soccer related, but I want to talk to somebody about this, and Ed isn't here. Who saw Justice League? Did any of you guys see Zack Snyder's Justice League? It's a 4-hour epic. I watched it. I watched it all. Now, I had to split it up a little bit, but I watched it. I'm curious. Let me know in the chat. Did anybody watch Justice League? I will say this. Jazz Fusion. Yes. Even my grapefruit is pink. But what's weird is this, it's like an orange kind of swash, but it should be pink, right? It should be all in brand. Well, hey, I'm in brand with Miami FC tonight. But Justice League, better than the theatrical release. I will say that. Zach, I was a little bit skeptical because people were wanting to see the Snyder Cut. Everybody's asking for the Snyder Cut. Snyder's Cut's going to be so great. Everybody's seen it. They heard about it, whatever. It's going to be great. My thought was, look, he didn't do so hot on Superman Batman. That movie is just okay. The whole Martha thing was ridiculous. All of a sudden, Superman and Batman are fighting each other. They realize both their mother's names are Martha. They're best friends. That's ridiculous. So he only did so-so on that movie. So I didn't have high hopes on the Zack Snyder Cut because, he's done okay. But it's better. So if you have not watched the Snyder Cut, I would say you need to go get HBO Max, sign up for like one of those 7-day free trials, get yourself some Snyder Cut, and then cancel it because I don't think there's anything else really worth getting. Richard Greenberg says he liked the Snyder Cut much better. And yeah, it was better. It was a lot of fun. I liked it. I did miss a few of the little jokes that were put into the first one, but and then let's go over onto the Marvel side. Falcon Winter Soldier came out. Did you guys see the first episode of Falcon Winter Soldier? That was pretty good too. I don't know, little geek talk there for you. Baldwin saying, meh, don't waste your time. I don't know what you're talking about if you're talking about the soccer or if you're talking about my geek stuff. But Eric Thomas saying, why is it that Pellegrini is literally one of the youngest players on the team, but he's one of the most unconditioned players? He's always winded and tends to be faded in the second half. Unacceptable. I agree, and I pointed that out in the preseason last year. When I saw him in person in Tampa, or actually in St. Petersburg, at Al Lang Stadium, I noticed that his cheeks get this like rosy red. He looks gassed. So fat. Now, he does expend a lot of unnecessary energy. Runs around the field, covers the field in ways that he probably doesn't need to. Looks lost at times. But he should be the most conditioned. What did you look like when you were like 19, 20 years old, 21, whatever? You probably were pretty fit at that time. Those are a lot of us, those are our best years, right? We were pretty fit at that time. But he definitely, I would agree with you. He is out of shape and he's got to do better. Phil Neville has got to really put a lot of focus on that. I know there was some commentary about fitness, and I think Beckham had kind of dropped some hints about fitness as far as bringing in the new people. Like that was definitely something that the team lacked a little bit last year across the board. Are you calling my Baldwin? That's what they call filler in the trade. Are you calling my Geek Talk filler? I'm not going to do it, One World. I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it. But I am going to be there soon. So there will be in April, there will be a Uncle Ed solo show because I will be somewhere else. But I'm not going to say it because I'm the one drinking. Not you guys. All right. Well, I am, Uncle Ned is calling, or Jazz Fusion's calling this filler. He ain't wrong. I'm running out of steam, folks. Running out of steam, and you guys are tough room tonight. Tough room. But you're here, and so I'm happy. Give me all the crap you want, but you showed up, and I respect that. And I appreciate the fact that you showed up. So, yes, Judge, I will be there. I will be there soon, but I will not. I will not say the name because I don't want to give One World, One Goal that satisfaction. Girly, girly, girly. Girly, girly, girly. I don't care what you say. It tastes good. And I can stay trim. I don't care. All right, everybody. I think we will wrap it up. Hey, Matt Z coming in from St. Louis. Can't wait for City to start. What do they need to do different and or better when they start play? Kind of playing off of Inter Miami's first season. Well, don't hire Paul McDonough, but you don't have to worry about that because he's back with Atlanta. So what do you need to do different? Stop trying to be global before you're local. That's one of the problems I think Inter Miami has. Is they want to be global before they're big deal local. Go and when I don't only mean by marketing. I'm talking go and get yourself some good quality MLS players that know the league, and then add in a couple of designated players to enhance that. But don't just go out and try to get rob Argentina and just think they're all going to be great, because they're not all great. So I think getting players that are familiar with the league is great for a upstart team. And they definitely Inter Miami, I think they're, like I said, I think their biggest issue is they're trying to go global before they went local. And that comes across a lot of areas, whether it be marketing or what have you. So I'm definitely interested to see what Charlotte does or St. Louis does. And I'm also interested to see what Charlotte does too. But I'm interested to see what St. Louis does. St. Louis, everybody says, is such an amazing soccer city. And I feel bad for St. Louis. St. Louis came so close to getting an MLS team so many times. They had that guy, and I don't remember his name, and you might know Matt Z, but they had that guy that was in the NASL for a brief minute. He promised them that he was going to take them to MLS, and then the team folds. St. Louis has had teams come and go so many times. You got to feel bad for that fan base there. It's tough to lose your team, and here in South Florida, we know what that feels like with us losing Miami Fusion. So. Chris Arjun is asking, did you ever get a chance to watch the NSL or UPSL local games? Not this new one. But, hey, that's something we do need to talk a little bit about upcoming soon, probably. There is a new local league, PASL, where our buddies in Boca Raton have kind of worked on. I think they're the fathers of the league, really. And our friend Kartik Krishnaiyer, who's a local soccer guy. He's written a book and a good friend of ours. He's worked with the league with NASL, and now he's working with this local PASL, which is a pro amateur soccer league. I think is what they're calling it, something like Premier Amateur Soccer League. So it's something that's very local, and I definitely want to get out and see some of those games. But right now, what they're doing is they're playing all their games at one location. I think it's Naples. So where, for COVID reasons. And also it saves money on travel and stuff like that. So Miami United, I know, is in that league as well. So it's like, I don't know, it's very small, but they're presenting themselves in a professional manner, and I like that. So we'll probably reach out to them soon and maybe talk a little PASL because I'm with Chris. I'm with you. I have not gotten out and seen anything local. I got to get back to the roots. Got to get back to supporting local and going to see every local kind of team, not just Inter Miami. So, yes, I do need to get out and go see that. Eric Thomas is agreeing with me. He says, that's what Nashville did, Peter Brown. Yes, Nashville went out and got solid MLS players, and they were pretty good. They were better than us. You can't try to win the league in your first year. Learn to walk before you run. Richard Greenberg is saying, get a coach who knows the league. That is important for St. Louis. Yeah, and that goes back to us trying to be global. We're trying to have a global coach instead of trying to get somebody that is local. Here's one good thing I'm really happy about now. We've got Jason Kreis, who was the Fort Lauderdale CF coach. Now he's an assistant coach sitting next to Phil Neville. Huge. Whether you like Jason Kreis as a head coach, he had a lot of success in Salt Lake, didn't have any success in New York or Orlando. So was his success in Salt Lake a fluke? Who knows? But he knows the league. He played the league. He's coached the league for 3 teams. He is going to be huge with Phil Neville. So, while our head coach may not know the league, his assistant does. And that I think is huge. And Baldwin is saying, yeah, AC St. Louis was the group. Yes, you're correct. I could not remember the name. There was a couple of St. Louis teams. They changed their name a couple times, but it's a tough break for those guys. But luckily, they're going to finally have their MLS club. All right. And guys, I think I did it. I completed the hour. I went over. I was ready to pull the plug, but you guys kept me alive in the chat. I appreciate that. You kept me right when I started to run out of steam. You gave me some new topics to talk about, and that's what I like. I like when you guys are active in the chat and you drive the show. And because really, whether Ed is here or not, it's really, we want it to be a conversation with you guys. So, and some of my favorite live broadcasts, there's a lot of dead time. They're just talking to the chat. And I watch a lot of them about some theme parks. Don't want to say the names. We're not participating in anybody's drinking games. But that's the way it is. So, and I appreciate that. I like that. I like watching that kind of stuff. So that's what we tried to do today. Next week, Uncle Ed is scheduled to be back. So you won't have to just deal with me, this tough crowd tonight. You will have Uncle Ed back next week. I can assure you that. But as we mentioned before, make sure to go to Caneswear, and thank you, Caneswear, for sponsoring us. And buy all your Inter Miami gear from them. Support local business. All right, everybody. Thanks again from the chat. Thank you for being here. If you're watching this later, thank you. But if you're watching this later, why not join us live Sunday nights at 7 p.m. and you too could be part of the show. You can leave us a voicemail, or you could be active in the chat and have a lot of fun. This group here that we've found, we've cultivated, what have you, is awesome. Those of you that are here week in, week out, you make this show, we make this channel. So I really appreciate all of you. So with that said, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.